This video will show you how to use PyTorch's toList operation to convert a PyTorch tensor to a Python list. First, we import PyTorch. Then we check what version of PyTorch we are using. We are using PyTorch 0.4.1. Next, let's create the example tensor we will be converting into a Python list. We will use the PyTorch ones operation to create a tensor that's 2 by 3 by 4 full of floating point ones. So torch.ones, and the structure is going to have 2 by 3 by 4 dimensions, and we're going to assign it to the Python variable PyTorch Tensor example. Now let's print our PyTorch Tensor example Python variable to see what's inside. We see that it's a PyTorch tensor. We see that the structure is 2 by 3 by 4. Each element is a 1, and each element is followed by a decimal point, which denotes that it is a floating point number. Just to double check, let's use Python's type operation to check the type of the tensor. And we see that it is a torch tensor. Now that we have the tensor, let's use the toList operation to convert our PyTorch tensor to a Python list. So we have our tensor, and we're going to use PyTorch's .toList operation. The result of this operation is going to be assigned to the Python variable PyTorch tensor as list. Now that we have the list, let's print it to see the results. We see that it is a nested list. The outside list contains 2 elements. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. Each of these lists contains 3 elements. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And each of those internal lists contains 4 elements. So 2 by 3 by 4. Next, let's double check what this thing actually is by using the Python type operation again. So we have type, and then we're passing our PyTorch tensor as list variable, and we see that it is a Python list. Perfect! We were able to use PyTorch's toList operation to convert a PyTorch tensor to a Python list.